Almighty God, who, in thy infinite wisdom and providential goodness, has appointed the offices of rulers and councils for the welfare of society and the just government of man, we beseech thee to behold with thy abundant favor us, thy servants, whom thou hast been pleased to call to the important trust in the Commonwealth of Dominica. Let thy blessing descend upon us here in this Parliament assembled, and grant that we may, as in thy presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote thy honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interests thou hast committed to our charge. All which we ask in the name and for the sake of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. Good morning.
Madam Speaker, I move that the minutes of the meeting of Wednesday 25th, Thursday 20...
We are asking for a motion to amend the order paper.
Sorry. Yeah. But, Madam Speaker, I move that the...
Maybe I should preface the purpose of the motion. Sorry. I don't know if members received an email which was circulated last evening. Since we don't have the email address of certain members, they might not have gotten it, but I think most of the members would have received it. It has to do with the fact that the letter itself is self-explanatory. It was just that in our haste to try to put the order paper out, which would have been due to be sent out on Thursday, we're trying to send it out on Wednesday. We were using this, what's it called? The thing you push in and you get the data on, the flash drive, the flash drive. Apparently, when certain things would put on the flash drive, if you don't save before, if you're making changes, it doesn't come off on the flash drive. And so we were the victims of that, and we did not realize it. Hence the need to have called upon the members to allow us to make the motion for the amendment. So now I'll now ask the Honorable Prime Minister to effect it, please.
Madam Speaker, motion to amend the order paper. Under item 9, insert the words, the funds...
The underlined bit.
Yeah. The words, the funds from the Petrocarib debt forgiven by Venezuela on November 21st, 2017. Immediately after the word of and before the word in the question for oral response 1.
Seconded, Madam Speaker.
And there's a second one, though, the Venezuela. There's a second one. You want to do it separately? Okay, well, it has been moved and seconded that under the item 9, the words as described be placed in the question so that the question would now read, what is the government's plan for utilization of the funds from the Petrocarib debt forgiveness by Venezuela on November 21st, 2017 in the climate resilient reconstruction of Dominica post Hurricane Maria? Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it. The second one, please.
I I believe that these amendments
Yes.
should really be for the Honorable Speaker to conduct, because it is an amendment to something that is on the other paper.
Yes.
You see, it is not something that I wish to bring on the other paper. That was not on the other paper. That should have been on the other paper. So I think that is an administrative issue.
It is.
Which I believe that the Speaker should put before the House as being an administrative oversight. But I do not think that I am in a position. I don't think the motion to amend, as is captured in the standing orders, gives me that responsibility in respect to the administrative glitch.
I would agree with you, save and except for the fact that I went through it myself, and this is why we try to send the members the notification beforehand. But because, I mean, the Prime Minister is the leader of government business, and if we are asking you to do, we are not telling you, we are asking you to do it.
Sure. Yeah, I respect that. But I am not privy to the engagements between the members who have brought these matters before the Parliament, to the exchange between the administrators of the House of Assembly and those members. And therefore, I cannot speak with any degree of authority in respect to what is it that they intended to ask, or what is it they intended to move. So I think that is known between yourself and the member or members concerned, and therefore I believe that is an administrative issue, rather than how it is captured in the other paper in respect to amendments to the other paper by the leader of the House of Assembly.
Its own amendments are only insofar as it did not appear on the other paper as it ought to have. It was prepared to have gone in, and let me just explain to you. It should have gone in, and as I said, it did not go in. We wish to, as is customary, the Prime Minister is the one who we ask, well, who usually does the order paper whenever there's a motion regarding the order paper itself. Now, I understand your reservation about the fact that you're not intimately concerned with it, and I'm quite prepared to do it. It's not a problem. It's just that I didn't want to take the high-handed approach to do it, but if you're saying that I should do it, I quite agree, I will do it.
No, I don't think you're taking a high-handed approach if you were to do it. And neither am I saying that I will not want to do it. I'm saying that it is really an administrative issue, so I think the Speaker should put it to the House, and the House can agree to it.
Well, it's just that we went by precedent. The last precedent, when that was done, it was done in the way that we are doing it. But as I say, I stand corrected, if you wish to put it that way. And so I will, the first one has been done already, so I'm going to do the second one. And it is that a motion came in for the member for Marigot constituency and leader of the opposition regarding a motion of no confidence. And there were three whereases, as we put it. One was inadvertently left out, and I'm seeking to have it put in no, the second whereas. And so the second whereas would read, and whereas the Commonwealth of Dominica, I'm going to read it from my own notes, because and whereas the Commonwealth of Dominica lost this valuable investment that positively impacted the lives of Dominica, the lives and livelihoods of many citizens, now therefore be it resolved that the Honorable House express its lack of confidence in the ability of the Prime Minister, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, to manage the economy of the country. Pardon? I am therefore asking, I'm putting a motion before the House that this second whereas, which was inadvertently left out of on the order paper, be put in.
Madam Speaker, for the record, I do not want, because you see, we can say no if the motion is put, which will not be fair to the member who has put this motion on the other paper. You see what I'm saying? Because the ayes have it. And if you go for a division, it may very well be a situation where it will be removed. All I'm saying is this, that such a matter can be dealt with administratively by the Parliament, because the substantive matter is on the other paper. It is not that it was entirely left out. The Speaker is saying that it was done, and we accept. You explain why it was what happened, and all I believe that has to be done there is that it is placed in the records of the House that this now forms part of the motion. But if it is put before the Parliament, I assure you that it will not be to the benefit and to the rights and obligations of the member who has placed it on the paper, because it may be shut down before it even born. You see what I'm saying? So, I do not think that it would be fair to cause that. So I think it can just be done administratively by the House, and let's move it. But I don't think it should be put to a motion.
Okay, well, is the House accepting, is the House accepting that it is now part of the order paper? Right. Okay. So it is now part of the, no, Mr. James. Just get me a copy. You don't have it? Mr. James, I don't have a copy. That being so, can we go on to the next item on the order paper, please? Item number 3.
Obituary and congratulatory remarks.
Item number 4.
Confirmation of minutes of meeting of Wednesday 25th, Thursday 26th, Friday 27th, and Monday 30th, and Tuesday 31st July 2018.
Madam Speaker, before the confirmation of the minutes, there is an amendment that on page 15 of the minutes that I want to draw to the attention of the House.
Pardon me?
There's an amendment on page 15 I would like to make.
Page 15 of the minutes?
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Yes,
Motion for extension of time to Senator. It says that the Senator Honorable Felix H. John.
Okay.
I think that should have been Felix H. Thomas, Madam Speaker.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also on page 14, the last paragraph. Debate resumed. The honourable member for the Salisbury constituency.
Page what?
14. Supposed to be honourable Mr. Hector John.
Page 14, yes.
The last paragraph on the debate resumed. The honourable member for the Salisbury constituency. I don't know, it's supposed to be some Roseau Sol constituency or Hector John. I think that's where the issue is.
Okay.
Okay, it has to be Hector John. Yeah. The name, that's Joshua Francis, so it has to be Hector John.
I'm not hearing because what is the amendment? Can you stand to? Okay. Okay, so it is the constituency that needs to be changed and not the person. Okay, right. Okay, any other amendments? So we have two amendments where the member, but you see further up there's the Roseau South member speaking when so you see there's two. I'm seeing honorable member for Roseau South constituency spoke on the motion. The speaker returned to the chair, then Honorable Felix Thomas spoke. Oh, so and then he continued. Oh, I'm with you now. Okay. Okay, so we're changing Roseau South one way and we're changing Thomas for John. Okay? Right. And these are all. So can we have a seconder then? Mike, please.
Page 16, the last sentence in the paragraph, which is that motion for extension of time to the Honorable Minister, be granted a further 10 minutes to complete his contribution.
Oh, her contribution. Okay, I'm with you. Anything else? So we have these three amendments.
Madam Speaker, I move that the minutes of the meeting of Wednesday 25th, Thursday 26th, Friday 27th, Monday 30th, and Tuesday 31st July 2018 be confirmed as amended.
It has been moved and seconded that the minutes of the meeting of Wednesday 25th, Thursday 26th, Friday 27th July, and Monday 30th and Tuesday 31st July 2018 be confirmed as amended. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it.
Announcements by Speaker.
I first have to inform the House that I received a letter from Honorable Dennis Charles requesting permission to be absent from today's meeting as she is out of state. And I have granted her request. Then I have to inform the House, and in fact I notify members at this meeting that I have to deal with a matter relating to the election of a president and the constitutional position as it relates to this announcements that I'm making. I received a letter from the Honorable Prime Minister, which I shall read. It states, "Dear Madam Speaker, in accordance with Section 19.3 of the Commonwealth of Dominica Constitution Order 1978, I hereby inform you that the Leader of the Opposition and I have been unable to agree on a joint nominee of a candidate for election as President." Signed by Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister. Now, there are certain provisions connected with the such a procedure, and we take that from Section 19 mainly of the Constitution. Actually, it starts at Section 18, which reads, 1. There shall be a President of Dominica who shall be elected by the House and shall hold office for a term of 5 years. 2, the President shall have such functions as are prescribed by this Constitution and such additional functions, if any, as may be prescribed by Parliament. And there is a proviso which reads, provided that no such additional functions shall be conferred upon him without his consent, signified by writing under his hand addressed to the Speaker. Section 19 says, whenever the office of President is vacant or the term of office of the President is due to expire within not more than 90 days, the Prime Minister shall consult with the Leader of the Opposition as to their joint nomination of a suitable candidate for election as President. If the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition submit to the Speaker by writing under their hands a joint nomination of a candidate for election as President, to which that candidate has consented, the Speaker shall inform the House of the nomination and declare that candidate to have been duly elected without putting the question to the vote. 3. If the Prime Minister is unable to agree with the Leader of the Opposition as to their joint nomination of a candidate for election as President, he shall notify the Speaker to that effect, and the Speaker shall inform the House accordingly, which is what I have just done. 4. The Prime Minister or Leader of the Opposition or any 3 members of the House may, during a period expiring 14 days after the day on which the House has been so informed, submit to the Speaker by writing under their hands nominations for candidates for election as President, and the Speaker shall, at the first meeting of the House after the expiration of that period and before the House proceeds to any other business, inform the House of the nominations that he received and to which the candidates concerned have consented. 5. An election of the President at which the candidates shall be those of whose nomination the House has been informed by the Speaker shall thereafter be held at the meeting of the House referred to in subsection 4 of this section, or if proceeding under section 22 of this Constitution are pending before a court, at a meeting of the House held soon as practicable after those proceedings, and the Speaker shall declare the candidate who has at that election received the votes of a majority of all the members of the House to have been duly elected. There is a proviso, and it reads, provided that when the question of the election of the President is put to the vote shall be given by ballots in such a manner as not to disclose how any particular member of the House votes. Okay, and there is a section 5. A. Where the only candidate for election under subsection 5 of this section does not receive the votes of a majority of all the members of the House, the Speaker shall inform the House accordingly, and a new election shall be held, to which the provisions of subsection 4 and 5 of this section shall mutas mutandis apply. 6. Where a person consents to be nominated for election as President, he shall do so by writing under his hand to the Speaker. 7. A person who has declared to have been duly elected as President under this section shall assume office as such on the day after the day on which his predecessor vacates the office of President, or if that office is already vacant, he shall assume office on the day after the day on which he was declared to have been duly elected. Okay, so now this, therefore, is my information to the members, and I am asking the members to take heed take heed of section 19(4), and these nominations shall be brought to the House, to the clerk, for further processing and for an election for the President. If there are no questions, I'll proceed to my next announcement. It is unfortunate that I have to report to the House that members do not seem to appreciate that over the past week, any office that was working did so under severe strain. And so I would like to read the email. In case members did not have it, I'd like to read parts of the email to you. Honorable members, it has been brought to my attention that there are errors by way of omissions on the order paper which was sent to you on the 14th of September 2018. Usually, matters such as amendments to the order paper are made at the commencement of the first day of the meeting. But given the nature of these amendments, I thought it prudent to alert members beforehand. These items with the 2 amendments are underlined as follows. I think every member who did not, in fact, was able to be reached by email received a copy of this email. And basically, it was where the member for the leader of the opposition had asked a question related to debt forgiveness from Venezuela, and the part that is underlined, I'll read the whole thing and specify where it was underlined. What is the government's plan for utilization of, and the part underlined, the funds from the Petrocaribe debt forgiveness by Venezuela on November 21st, 2017, end of the underlined part, in the climate resilient reconstruction of Dominica post-Hurricane Maria. And there was also a motion which had been put by the leader of the opposition, which was a resolution of the House of Assembly of the Commonwealth of Dominica for a vote of no confidence in the ability of Prime Minister, the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, to manage the economy of the Commonwealth of Dominica. And there were 2 whereases, as they were. The second one, the first one was included, but the second one, and whereas the Commonwealth of Dominica lost this valuable investment that positively impacted the lives and livelihood of many citizens of Dominica, and then it went on, be it resolved that the House of Assembly expresses its lack of confidence in the ability of the Prime Minister, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, to manage the economy of the Commonwealth of Dominica. The last paragraph, couple paragraphs of the letter read, the clerk and I apologize for these omissions and offer by way of explanation the fact that we were rushing to have the said order paper dispatched by Wednesday, 12th September, since we knew that dispatching would not be possible on the Thursday. However, in spite of our best efforts, this could not have been accomplished. And I'm passing this on for members' information. Now, strangely, everybody knew there was a hurricane on Thursday, and Mr. James called me around 8:30 to inform me that the leader of the opposition had called him at 8:20 on the Friday morning, telling him why hadn't he received his order paper, which was due the day before, and proceeded to verbally abuse Mr. James. Everybody, please take your seat. I'm not listening to you. I'm not hearing. I'm on my feet and I'm speaking.
Did I verbally abuse you? My God in heaven.
Apparently the member doesn't even know when he's verbally abusing people, but what do you expect? So the member went on and verbally abused Mr. James, and he called me and told me so. If you persist, I'm going to ask you to leave while I say what I have to say, and then you can come back after. I told Mr. James, this is not the first time you're reporting to me that certain members of the opposition abuse you, and I've told you what to do. And I advised Mr. James to send an email to the honorable member of the opposition to inform him that thereafter he would not be able to have conversations with him, but would communicate with him through either emails or WhatsApp. Before Mr. James could even do that, because the order paper went out promptly the Friday morning, he got another call from the leader of the opposition, and the verbal abuse continued, only it reflected the speaker was training him to do what he was doing. Now, I want the member to understand that I think everybody who knows Mr. James or who has come in contact with Mr. James knows that he is a very meek and mild person, very kind and soft-spoken. And I think it is manifestly unfair and wrong for any member, and it's not the first time I'm saying in this house, members should recall I said that too about the member for Salisbury, okay? It's not fair. And I ask the members, if you think you could ever, by any stretch of whatever imagination you possess, to call me and tell me the things that you all tell Mr. James. Just think about that the next time you all dare to call Mr. James and tell him so. It's manifestly wrong. And then too, there is the issue of the leader of the opposition going on radio to announce that his questions had been whatever he called it, because I mean, I don't listen to radio stations, so I would not know what he said, but I understand I came in for quite a bit of flack, as did Mr. James. Let me assure the leader of the opposition, in case he does not recognize it, it is very rare that we have administrative errors, either in our, over this almost 19 years that I'm here, very rare. And so when you do things, when you are wrong so seldom, it's not a pain to apologize. The people who have problems apologizing are those who make errors constantly. Consequently, they spend more time apologizing and doing anything else, so they don't apologize ever. But I have no compulsion, no fear of apologizing if I've done something wrong or any such thing. And this is why I wrote that letter. And I want to say further that what the leader of the opposition did not tell the radio station and the media verbally at all is the verbal abuse that he lay on Mr. James, okay? When he called Mr. James twice in one day. First to castigate him for not sending his order paper during the hurricane, and secondly, for omitting to put certain things on the order paper. Now, Mr. James, will you, Mr. Linton, leader of the opposition, will you be quiet, please? I know you have difficulty in containing yourself, but try your best, please. Try your best. Now, there is another issue which I wish to bring to the House. The member for Salisbury sent a letter, sent a question relating to Ross Medical School. I will not disclose the contents of the question, but they did not conform to the rules, and Mr. James phoned him to let him know. Mr. James reported to me that the member told him that whoever told him about the thing, they know how to write it, and it's proper, so he's not changing it. Mr. James then wrote him a letter to inform him, because you see, sometimes when you do things verbally, you don't have the proof, and when you deal with certain people, you really need to have proof in writing or a tape or some such thing, because they deny forever and ever, amen, as we have just witnessed. So therefore, I had Mr. James to write a letter to the member for Salisbury, which he did, but the member for Salisbury must have sent it to somebody who's overseas, the senator, and next thing is on Facebook, and people are verbally writing all kind of abusive things of who I think I am and all sorts of things. Now, as far as I am aware and concerned, this business of the member, what he did is a breach of privilege. And I would be minded to bring him before the Privileges Committee. But I'm not going to do so, okay? I'm not asking you. Please be quiet. Do not speak out of turn. I'm not in school with you. You should know. I shouldn't have to tell you this. But the member went on to do so on Facebook. And I need to tell members, when you are brought before the Privileges Committee, and the Privileges Committee sit, first of all, the quorum for the Privileges Committee is 2. So it wouldn't matter whether other persons decided they weren't going to sit on a Privileges Committee. The quorum is 2, and once 2 persons and the chairperson sits, the committee can sit, and has done so, in fact, in the past. When the Privileges Committee prepares its report, it lays it in the House. It then goes as a motion, and members decide if the person who has been brought before the Privileges Committee is wanting, is then sanctioned by way of asking the member to stay away from the House. That was done before. And when that is done, the members don't receive their salary. So I want you to contemplate the import of a breach of a privilege and how far it can go. Just so you didn't know, I have now informed you. And there endeth my announcements. Next item, please, member.
Presentation of papers.
Madam Speaker, I beg to lay on the table the schedule of supplementary appropriation for the period January 2018 to June 2018.
Madam Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table. Report of the Integrity Commission of the Commonwealth of Dominica for the year ending August 31st, 2017.
Government notices.
Madam Speaker, I beg to give notice that at the later stage of the proceedings, I will be moving the motion and taking all stages of the bills standing in my name on the other paper.
Madam Speaker, I beg to give notice that at the later stage of the proceeding, I'll be taking all the stages of the bills standing in my name on the other paper.
Unofficial notices.
Speaker, at the later stage of the proceedings, I beg to give notice that I'll be asking one of the questions standing in my name on the order paper.
Questions?
Will the Honorable Prime Minister explain to this Honorable House the reasons for the unavailability of the Hansards for the meetings of Parliament for a number of years and indicate what is being done to honor the provisions of Rule 81 of the Standing Orders of the House of Assembly?
Madam Speaker, this question is very general and can leave this Honourable House and the members of the public at loss to determine whether it is a very small or very large quantity of Hansards that are unavailable. It would be more prudent and objective if the member would indicate which specific Hansards were requested and told were unavailable so that the matter could be more directly addressed.
Statement by ministers. Introduction of bills.
Madam Speaker, I move that the bill shortly entitled Foreign Account Tax Compliance United States of America Act 2018 be read the first time.
Candidate Madam Speaker.
Foreign Account Tax Compliant United States of America Act 2018.
The bill has been read the first time.
Madam Speaker, I move that the bill shortly entitled the Juries Amendment Act 2018 be read the first time.
Candidate.
Juries Amendment Act 2018.
The bill has been read the first time.
Public business, government business, motion.
Supplementary estimates of expenditure for the financial year ending June 30th, 2018. Be it resolved that this Honorable House approves the supplementary estimates of expenditure for the year 2017-2018 amounting to $248,991,776.28, the details of which are contained in the attached schedule.
Seconded.
Madam Speaker, the supplementary estimates totaling $248,991,704.28 being presented to this House today is in respect of advances made from the contingencies fund for the period January 2018 to June 2018. Just to note, Madam Speaker, that I will propose some corrections during the committee stage, and this statement will reflect the changes. The main change is the amount allocated to the Ministry of Health and the consequential changes to the various totals. This presentation complies with Section 81 of the Commonwealth of Dominica Constitution Order 1978, as well as Section 12 of the Finance Administration Act of 1994. These provisions allow the government the flexibility of incurring expenditure not originally approved in the annual budget where it is deemed necessary, and subsequently seeking approval of the Parliament for such spending. The details of the expenditure are as follows: 14% or $34,483,225.37 was grant funded, and 86% or $214,508,478.91 was met from local resources. Madam Speaker, the following are some of the details. The appropriation in respect of the Office of the President amounted to $141,072. These funds were required to repair and replace items which had been damaged during the passage of Hurricane Maria. $143,689.77 was used to replace security cameras and furniture and fittings at the State House compound. $96.95 was used for the repairs to a vehicle for the official use of the Office of the President. Madam Speaker, the Parliament building sustained some damage during the passage of Hurricane Maria. The insurance payout for the building was $100,000. These funds were used to undertake repairs to this historical building. In respect to the Ministry of Justice, Immigration and National Security, the total sum of $7,747,206.55 were appropriated as follows. $249,543.56 went towards assisting our sister islands, which had been affected by Hurricane Irma. $3,315,750.03 was used to purchase vehicles which were needed urgently to respond to emergencies during the passage of Hurricane Maria. $926,500 was required for the purchase of additional vehicles for use by the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force. $2,022,790 was required to purchase relief supplies and to respond to emergencies. The demand for passports post-Hurricane Maria increased considerably as the passports of a large number of people were damaged during the hurricane. $110,000 was used for the purchase of 6,000